good morning, good afternoon, happy brunch, happy Monday. It's been a long time, but I'm ready to get started. The NBA, first of all, I want to thank y'all for your support. It's been about 8 months I've been doing this, and I couldn't have done it without y'all. If you want to be part of the show, we're going to talk NBA Finals. I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to emerge as the X Factor? Who's your favorite for MVP? And then thoughts on LeBron being the latest victim of a hate crime. Listen, I want you to be part of the show. Please give me a call at 706-801-5926. Once again, please be part of the show. The number is 706-801-5926. Well, let's get right to it. And the NBA Finals is here. I guess this is what we've been waiting for. History in the making. Is the first time in the NBA's illustrious history that two teams have competed in the finals 3 years in a row. It has never been done before. You have Cleveland and Golden State returning. And again, Golden State has home court. And it should be fun. The stage is set. Golden State hasn't played in 10 days. They're well rested after their cakewalk through the playoffs. Let me remind you, 12-0. 12-0. Cleveland is well rested. As I remind you, they went 12-1. They had one loss. It was a meltdown back in Cleveland in Game 3 against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Somehow or another, the Cleveland Cavaliers squandered a 20-plus point lead to allow Boston to go on a run and outscore them by 24 points in the remaining 18 minutes of that game. By the way, Marcus Smart was sensational. Avery Bradley hit the game-winning three. But with that said, the two teams was destined to meet all year long. Before the season started, this is exactly what we thought would happen. It'd come down to just who it is, Cleveland and Golden State. If you want to be part of the show, please give me a call, 706-801-5926. I love to hear from you. I'm taking thoughts. Just give me a call. With the NBA Finals here, it's prediction time. And you got two heavyweights. It's like Tyson and Holyfield, or Ali and Frazier. Well, let's go with Ali and Frazier because this is number 3. Or we could say Riddick Bowe and Holyfield because this is the trilogy right here. This is the trilogy. I'm going to shock a few people with my comments on what I think is going to happen. But I got Golden State in 5. I think this is not going to be as hard as people think. I think it's going to be relatively easily. I like Golden State in 5. I think Golden State wins tonight by 20 or more. I think they come back, win Game 2 between 8 and 10. I think they lose Game 3 in Cleveland. I think they squeak one out in Game 4 in Cleveland, and then they come home and wrap it up in Game 5. I just think that Golden State is the better team. Many people argue with me or debate with me that Cleveland is deeper, their bench is better. I disagree with the notion that Cleveland is a deeper team than Golden State and their bench is better. On the names on the jersey, yes, it may indicate that Cleveland's team is deeper or the bench is deeper. But I want to remind you that in the last round and throughout the playoffs, Cleveland's big 3 has accounted for 80 points of their offense, which tells me that their bench is doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. There hasn't been a Shannon Fry sighting. Kyle Korver may have participated with one good game. Iman Shumpert here and there. Darren Williams, the team killer, he hasn't done anything. They don't play Derek Williams. They don't have a backup center. I'm asking you, what has the Cleveland bench done to be able to wear the honor or tag that they have a better bench than Golden State? To me, if Tyronn Lue wants to strengthen their bench, then the move for him to make is simple. Because J.R. Smith is doing absolutely nothing in the starting lineup. With the big three accounting for 80 points or 80% of their offense or more, obviously he's not getting touches. So it would be smart of Lue to sit JR, start Shumpert, because you can hide Shumpert's offense in the front, in the starting five, and maybe J.R. Smith can get going with the second unit and give that second unit a lift. Maybe come off the bench, such as a Jamal Crawford. Got a phone call. Chopping it up with Ramel, who's on the line.
Ramel, what's up, man? It's Dave, man. Dave Bricks.
Dave, how you doing, Dave? What's going on? How you feel?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I just had to call you, man, because you talking about the Cavs is going out in 5 games. Come on, man.
Yeah. I got the Cavs going out in 5. Do you see something different?
Yeah, I see. Look, I see the Cavs winning tonight, game 1, right?
Okay.
Golden State takes game 2. Cavs take 3 and 4. Golden State takes 5. Cleveland takes 6. I promise.
Okay.
I don't see. Did you see the last game, Christmas game?
Okay. I'll say this, Dave. And to your credit, if Cleveland was to win this series, that's the only way they can win it. They would have to win it
like that, right?
the same way you said. Take game 1, go home, win at home, lose games 2 and 5 in Golden State, and then win game 6 at home. That's the only way they can win it. But I don't see that happening. But that's the way to win. That's the blueprint for them to win, except for now they have to execute it on the court. And yes, I did see the Christmas game. Listen, one day, one game, anybody can win. You know, the better team don't always win on one game. We can look at the 18-1 Patriots when they lost to the Giants. But if that was a 3-game series or a 5-game series where they played 5 consecutive Sundays, I'm sure the Patriots would have won. So on a one game day situation, any team can win. But normally the better team wins in a series, and I believe Golden State is the better team.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But I believe that the Cavs match up well with Golden State. I believe that the Cavs match up better with them than any other team in the league right now.
Okay.
So we got KD and we got LeBron. That's going to cancel each other out. We both know KD going to get you 30. We both know LeBron going to get you 30.
Right.
Then we got Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry. They both going to go at it. I think Kyrie might get the better of Steph. I don't know. Maybe Steph might come with a vengeance because everybody's saying he don't show up in the finals.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe he's going to come with a chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it's really going to be between everybody else how they win the game. Like the Draymonds and the Kevin Loves and the JRs and these guys, Zaza. It's going to be between them. Who plays better, who's more productive. And I think that the Cavs, the way Kevin Love is playing right now, if he plays like that, I don't see Golden State winning. I don't see maybe Golden State will win, but it won't be as easy as everybody's saying they're gonna win. Just like that. Like it's just gonna be easy games. I don't think so.
Well, hey, Dave, first of all, your first-time caller, I appreciate the call. I noticed your comments and you tune in, so I really appreciate that. If you want to be part of the show, please call up 706-801-5926. I just want to address your matchup situation because you bring up a good point. The one thing I say that's going to be key here is Kevin Durant. If you watch the success that LeBron has on defense, especially in the finals, he always helped defense. He leaves his man to help out. Last year, he left Harrison Barnes, who shot 3 for 36 in the series. He's not leaving Kevin Durant. He's not gonna cheat and leave him. So think about that for a second. So those little in the lane steals that he gets and blindside blocks and things like that's not happening because he's not leaving Kevin Durant. I play ball. I'd rather play against someone who's good in basketball because there's a mutual respect when they guard you. The worst player to play against is someone who don't know how to play because they're on you like a cheap suit. They don't let you breathe, and it's annoying. Well, that guy's no longer there in Dellavedova. Who's going to stand in front of Curry now? As he frustrated Curry for 2 consecutive finals series. I mean, he went in there as the MVP one year, an unanimous MVP, and didn't look like the MVP. Yeah, he had good moments, but he did not look like the MVP because he had somebody who was guarding him that made it slightly, and I say the word slightly difficult. That's no longer there. Now, when they go to Draymond Green at the 5, and he's at the perimeter running a point because they inserted Iguodala or either Livingston in the game. And they got Draymond Green at the 5. Is Tristan Thompson going to be in the game at that time?
Nah, they probably might play Kevin Love off the 5.
Okay, so now here's the thing. You have no shot blocker and the back door is open. Klay Thompson and Curry is just as effective going to the hole as they are shooting from the perimeter. So there are matchup problems. And that Kevin Love that we've been seeing in these previous playoffs rounds, and it's been the best Kevin Love of his Cavalier career.
Yeah, it has.
He's got Draymond Green that's going to be guarding him now. Perhaps maybe the best defensive player in the game. At least, if not number 1, number 2 behind the kid Kawhi Leonard. So I'm favoring Golden State with this one. And I hear what you're saying, and LeBron may be the best player on the planet, but he can't cheat and help out on the weak side.
Real quick. Because you were talking about the defensive matchups. So, since Draymond is going to be guarding Kevin Love, you're telling me KD's going to be guarding LeBron, and he's going to do a good job at it?
Well, no, he's not going to shut LeBron down. Let's face it. The only person that can shut LeBron down is LeBron. Okay?
Yeah, right.
And so what you do is, if I'm Golden State, just play one-on-one. Because, see, how LeBron hurts you is not so much scoring. It's because when he does go to the hole, the panic defense of collapsing on him and leaving the perimeter open for open three-pointers, I say stay with your man. Let LeBron have 40-plus points a game. Let him have it. Just make sure nobody else score. You keep Kevin Love under 10, and you keep Kyrie Irving modest, and you don't let somebody like Korver or Shannon Fry get hot just because their man went to help out in the lane. Let's just let it go.
You're right. Well, look, thanks, man. I appreciate it. For letting me call up.
I appreciate you.
Man, tonight, when the Cavs win, man, you know you're going to be the first person I hit up.
All right, please do. Please do. Right. Good talking to you. All right. That's Dave from New York. Known him for a long time. First time caller. Appreciate the call. Again, if you want to be part of the show, call me up 706-801-5926. Talking NBA. For those who are just tuning in, I gave my prediction. I got Golden State in 5. I just don't think it's going to be that hard at all. I think they're going to be determined. I think Cavs is going to have matchup problems. And here's the biggest matchup problem. It's not that he can't guard Durant, LeBron. He can't leave Durant to help out on the weak side. He did that when he was guarding Harrison Barnes, who was shooting 3 for 36. He did that when he was with Miami because Shane Battier was guarding maybe Kawhi Leonard or he was guarding Dirk or something like that. He was able to cheat. But he's not going to be able to cheat this time. Got another call. Who's on the line?
What's going on, Jake from Gainesville, baby?
Greg Berry. It's been a while since we talked. How you doing?
Oh, man. Dub Nation, baby.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Let me say this.
Yes.
Let me say this to you, bro. Hey, everybody keep talking about KD. Everybody keep talking about KD. I'm telling you now, you heard it from me. Curry is going to be MVP, bro. You watch what I tell you, man. It ain't going to be Durant. Curry got something to say, man, because he hasn't said it the way he's supposed to in the other championships, man.
Greg, I didn't get to that question yet, and that question is, who's your favorite for MVP? And I agree with you. I do think that Steph Curry is going to walk away with the MVP, but I don't dismiss Kevin Durant. And I'm not talking about his production. I'm just talking about his presence on the court. Again, when you have a guy in Harrison Barnes that's 3 for 36 and missing wide open shots because LeBron was cheating, he's not going to do that with Durant, which makes Steph Curry's game that much easier. Because see, one thing about it, and I just said it, Greg, we play ball. We play ball, kids growing up. The one thing, Kyrie Irving, yeah, he's going to give Curry the business. Don't get me wrong. But his defense is going to allow Curry to give him the business as well. It's just a matter of when one is giving the business, are they giving it at the right time that's sealing a win? And I think that Curry is going to be doing it when it's going to be sealing a win. I see Curry averaging close to 30 points a game, if not more, in this series just because of two reasons. Dellavenova's not over there to be on him like a cheap suit, and Kevin Durant's presence is going to make it where it's going to be totally impossible for LeBron to help out. And see, here's the thing about Curry. He goes to the basket as well.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to the basket. So, and as I mentioned to the last caller, if Draymond is at the 5, does Tristan Thompson stay in the game? And if so, is he guarding him up at the perimeter?
That's what I'm talking about. That's going to be the problem.
It's going to be tough right there. So I have MVP Curry. I have Golden State in 5.
That's what I said. You see, I posted that up on your page, man. I'm telling you, they are in 5, man, because they're not going to be able. And another thing that people keep forgetting. Don't forget Iguodala, man. Something is telling me Iguodala is going to come to play. I just have a feeling.
Well,
I'm telling you.
Here's the thing. Iguodala is like a pro's pro coming off the bench. I mean, one of the rare final MVPs in league history that really didn't play outstanding or had outstanding numbers. He got MVP for grit. And nevertheless, he's an MVP. And once upon a time, he was the number 1 on a team in Philadelphia. The guy's a solid player. He accepts his role. He's playing for a contract. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Whether he'll take less to stay in Golden State or is he looking at this as his last possible payday, if he is looking at that, he's going to go out there and play ball because his financial security might depend on this series.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it's going to be hard for them guys. It's going to be hard for Cleveland's bench, man. I'm telling you to keep up with them dudes, man. Everybody keeps talking about, yes, Durant is going to, that's Durant. He's going to do this. But everybody keeps focusing on Durant. I know Curry's sitting back going, yo, I'm about to scorch these dudes, man.
And I agree with you. Once again, if you want to be part of the show, give me a call, 706-801-5926. But yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with you. I think this is going to be Steph Curry's series. And, Kevin Durant adds so much to this team. I mean, he's night and day between Harris and Barnes. And no knock on Harrison Barnes. He's just not there. And he showed it last year at 3 for 36. KD will never come anything close to that.
Right. You're right. It's going to be a good one. This one's going to be. I think this is going to be one of the great finals, man.
I can't call it great because it's going to be over in 5. If it goes 7, it has a chance of being a great one. But the fact that it's going to be over in 5, I don't see. That's almost a sweep. That's not great.
Right.
That's not great.
Right.
But when you look back on it, you're talking about several future Hall of Famers in this game.
Right.
And possibly 5 on Golden State. 3 on Cleveland. So it's a slew of Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers over there. So you look back and say, wow, yeah. But I don't see it going deep at all. 6 the longest, but I got 5.
Okay. Yeah. I got one more question.
Sure.
Outside the Warriors in Cleveland.
Okay.
What do you think about Chris Paul going to San Antonio if he goes?
Well, here's the thing, and that's a good question. Chances are Chris Paul is going to be looking for about $30 million plus a year. San Antonio will have to create some cap space by possibly trading some players or convincing the Clippers to do a sign and trade where they take back pieces. Clearly, it's something that they need. They need a point guard. I like Tony Parker. I thought he was playing well before he got hurt. But if you can add a chance to add Chris Paul, it doesn't hurt. The question is, if you add Chris Paul to the Spurs, what do they give up to get him? Do they lose Jonathan Simmons? That's the question. You don't mind giving up Danny Green, okay? But do you lose Jonathan Simmons? And remember, in the NBA, you don't trade talent for talent. You have to trade money. And if Chris Paul is going to come in with a $30 million tag, you got to send back $30 million a year salary from players. So, and right now, Danny Green is getting maybe 11 or 12. I'm not sure if the Clippers would take Tony Parker. I'm not even sure if the Spurs would even entertain trading Tony Parker. So the question becomes, do they trade Paul Gasol? I don't know what they'll do. I think that's
I think Paul Gasol is gone, brother.
I think
really do.
Here's the thing. Paul Gasol has a player option of $18 million. He's not opting out of that.
Right.
He's going to be on the books of San Antonio next year. Could he go back to LA in a sign and trade for Chris Paul? That's possible. Can a Paul Gasol and a Danny Green and a future number 1 pick, first round pick, get it done? From the numbers, yes, gotta get it done. Question is, will the Clippers accept that in return?
Right.
Because here's the deal. If they're willing, if they realize they can't get Chris Paul, chances are Blake Griffin is following next.
Right.
So do you take back these 2 guys? The only reason why you would take Paul Gasol back is because he has an expiring contract for next season, and maybe you can start all over in free agency. But is that ideal for you? But it's But if San Antonio can suit up next season, Chris Paul, Jonathan Simmons, Kawhi Leonard, and LaMarcus Aldridge, and just find a big man, that'd be a good look for them.
That'd be a good look for them.
That'd be a good look for them. Be a good look for them.
Well, one more thing I gotta say. Since I done signed up for the Big Baller brand, man. My man, I'm trying to tell you, I signed up for the Big Baller brand, brother.
Okay.
I'm going, my man. The Lakers better take them.
I think they will. I think they will. They're playing possum right now, but I think they will. I can't see ball getting past the Lakers.
That's right up Magic Johnson's alley.
I agree.
A guy like that.
I agree. Hey, Greg, appreciate the call. Keep listening. We'll chop it up off the air and on the air.
Okay.
Peace, my brother.
Peace.
Hey, and that's Greg. Haven't heard from him in a while. Good to hear from him. He has some interesting thoughts on the finals, his MVP selection, as well as Chris Paul's future, and also possibly talking a little bit about the draft with Lonzo Ball going to the Lakers. Listen, I don't care what you say about LeVar Ball. You say what you want. I'll say this. There's no such thing as bad publicity. Ask the Hilton sisters. Ask the Kardashian family. I mean, controversy sells, and he's doing his best to do that. And I'm going to tell you this. He might seem like he's out of line at times, but I tell you what, if I was in his shoe with 3 potential superstar NBA players. I don't know how I would act as Suns. I don't know how I would act. I really don't. But he's who he is. He could be getting in the way of his son's future. He could be enhancing his son's brand. Who knows? But I know this controversy sells. There's no such thing as bad publicity. All right? And I won't be buying a $495 pair of sneakers. I just wanted to throw that in. I will not be. So, getting back to it. So, Greg, he touched on it. Yes, my favorite for the MVP is going to be Steph Curry. Who will emerge as an X factor on in this playoff series? I really think it's going to be Mike Brown for Golden State. I really do. I mean, he's got a team that knows one another. This core group has been here for 3 years in a row. For 3 years in a row. You replace Harrison Barnes with Kevin Durant. And what a player to replace him with. A player who knows how to play alongside another great player or another superstar player when he played with Russ. So him coming over here, he just knows. He knows how to blend in. And to the tune has been successful. I think there's something like 27-1 since March or something like that. So I say Mike Brown is the X factor. First of all, how many teams head coach can go down and they replace him with a coach that been to the finals already? So now Mike Brown has finals history. Yeah, he lost to San Antonio. LeBron in Cleveland. LeBron was like a pup at the time. Yeah. But at the same time, he has that experience. I think he's the X factor. Knowing when to sub someone. Knowing when to call the timeout. Stop the run. Don't let the stage get too big for him. Overcome the moment. Don't be overshadowed by it. Mike Brown will be the X factor for Golden State. And to me, the X factor for Cleveland, it's got to be J.R. Smith. It really do. I mean, J.R. Smith is a guy that you love him and you hate him. When he's hot, he's as good as anybody. When he's bad, you don't want him on your team. But he's the kind of a guy that can ignite a team. He's the kind of guy that can rile a team up and get you going. He's hit big shots in his career, but he's been very quiet in these playoffs. And I think part of that is that he needs to come off the bench. When the big three has it going the way they have it going, there's no room or touches for him in the starting lineup. He's got to come off the bench. And you might want to bring Shumpert in for a little bit better defense anyway. So he's the X factor for me. Sure, you could say Kyle Korver, or you could say this person. Kyle Korver needs to be a starter to be effective. He doesn't have that take off the uniform, come off the bench, and just get hot. He's got to run up and down the court, da-da-da. No, J.R. Smith don't have to be that. J.R. Smith he could be in that same category as Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford. So he's an X factor for me. So again, just to recap, if you want to be part of the show, call me up, 706-801-5926. Just to recap, I have Golden State in 5. The X factors for both teams, Mike Brown, Golden State, J.R. Smith, Cleveland. And my MVP, I'm going with Steph Curry. He went into these finals 2 years in a row as the league's MVP and did not look like one. I think he redeems himself. Not only does he redeem on a personal level, but I think they redeemed the loss from last year, being up 3-1, to just see them lose not only 3 in a row, but 2 on their own court, and to lose the way they did on their home court as well, allowing the road team to come in and celebrate. I just don't see that happening this season. Golden State in 5. Not sure who this gentleman is. Yassine Muhammad, I appreciate you tuning in. You say Cavs all the way again, the three-headed monster. LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. And then Darren Williams is the X factor. He does agree that JR should come off the bench. Listen, I don't like Darren Williams' role. I think Darren is not fit for this team. I don't think this is who they need. I do think they needed someone in that role, but I don't think it's Darren Williams. I don't think Darren Williams realized where he is at in his career as a player. I think Darren Williams thinks that he's much better than who he is. And I think that he will get in his own way, and I think by getting in his way will affect the Cavaliers. And that's why he has not really been effective in the playoffs throughout. Okay, as far as Kevin Love has been playing his best ball as a Cavalier in these first 3 rounds. However, he didn't have Draymond Green guarding him, who is possibly the best defender in the game. If not, he's number 2. So I think that Kevin Love is going to struggle having to deal with Draymond Green guarding him. All right, LeBron is LeBron. No one is stopping him. He's going to do his thing. Kyrie Irving, no one is stopping him. He's going to do his thing. The question is Kyrie Irving going to be able to minimize Steph Curry or get the best of Steph Curry? I think that Steph Curry is going to get the best of Kyrie Irving. In the last 2 finals, well, even last year, Kyrie Irving did a lot of things, but also Dellavedova guarded a lot of Curry. So that gave him a little bit rest or a little bit more freshness to be able to do his thing on offense. But I do think they neutralize, but I think Curry gets the better of him slightly. And it's going to be enough to make a difference in the series. As far as LeBron, again, there's no one who's going to be able to guard him. But what Kevin Durant will do to LeBron that will make the game easier for Golden State is that his presence on the court and LeBron having to guard him, he's not going to cheat to help out on the weak side. I would be very surprised if they line up and LeBron guards Draymond and Kevin Love guards Durant. If he guards Draymond, he might be able to cheat because Draymond is not the threat that Kevin Durant is. Although Draymond can be effective and knock it down and is not a person that should be left alone. But we'll see how that happens because you know LeBron likes to cheat, help out in the lane, and rightfully so, but he's not going to be able to do it with Kevin Durant. So, again, in order for the Cavs to win this series, I do agree. They have to win in 6. But I don't see that happening at all. Not at all. One thing I do want to touch about, because if not, I'll be remiss to say this. Listen, I'm not a LeBron James fan on the court. I'm simply not. Once upon a time, I was. I don't believe in betting on 2 big dogs to beat a little dog. I believe in you take your lumps. A lot of players have done that. Take their lumps until they get there. I don't agree with constructing teams or forming teams by getting your friends together and doing this and that. I don't believe in that. Once he started doing that, I started to lose respect for him as a player. And therefore, that's why I root against him. I would have never, if I was him, went to Miami. 1 championship in Cleveland before going to Miami would mean more than he can ever win. All right? When he formed that team with D. Wade and Chris Bosh, no one got on D. Wade. No one. To this day, nobody talks about D. Wade did this, D. Wade did that. Why? Because they came to play with D. Wade. When you're a star, a winner, or a superstar, or in this case, possibly the greatest player in the game, people should want to come to you. You shouldn't go run to them. And that's why I get on him so much. And I root against him. And then when he left Miami, he saw that the ship was kind of sinking or aging. He bounced again instead of weathering the storm and packing an umbrella or boarding up the windows to make sure the hurricane don't break the windows or the tornado affect the house. No, what he did, he packed a bag and broke out of town. And on his way, he made a stop and said, hey, if you want me back, you got to trade that number 1 pick and get somebody in there like a Kevin Love. I don't agree with moves like that. I don't. I agree with bettering your team, but I don't agree with doing it that way. Kobe Bryant, once upon a time, after the Shaq trade, 2 years later, he said, either I'm out or you get me some help. I respect that. But I don't respect conspiring with fellow great players and saying, hey, let's go play together. I don't respect what Kevin Durant did. I'm not a Durant fan. I don't think Durant does what he do if LeBron didn't do what he did. What Durant did was he joined the bully. Most bullies get beat up after a while. Instead of him beating the bully, he gave up and went and joined the bully. I don't agree with that either. But the LeBron James off the court, I'm a huge fan of. What he does for his community, the way he speaks up with political issues, even the incident with the Trayvon Martin case where he helped put the hoodies on and went to a Miami game and so forth, sending young kids, children to college. I'm a huge fan of. I have nothing but the utmost respect for LeBron James off the court. You don't hear anything about him. He's pretty much squeaky clean. There was a little incident maybe mentioned with a teammate, his mom, or whatever the case is. You don't hear nothing about that anymore either. You don't hear nothing about her. The guy off the court is a standout player. In fact, I give him more credit or more respect than Michael Jordan off the court. On the court, Michael Jordan all day. But I bring this up. No person should be a victim in their place of residence of hate crimes, racism, graffiti on fences, houses, whatever it is. No one. Not even LeBron James. This is just a reminder as a society where we are and how far we have to go. The fact that this is one of the most famous athletes, they took a poll. He's second to a soccer player, I can't think of his name, as the most famous athlete in the world. But yet, he is still a victim of hate crime. And what he does off the court, he just sent 1,100 students to college. 1,100 students to college. The guy's been a model citizen. We don't hear nothing about no DUIs, no traffic light infractions. We don't hear nothing. Nothing about that. No domestic violence. Nothing. He speaks up on politics, not necessarily politics, but social awareness. And yet, someone has the audacity to go to his home in a Brentwood community in Southern California, right outside of Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and write the N-word on his property. It's just despicable and unnecessary. I lived in California for 4 years. In fact, I lived about 15 miles away from that same very community. This is a community of heavy hitters. Jack Nicklaus, Tom Brady, Eddie Murphy, Denzel Washington, Will Smith, the Hilton sisters. I mean, the list goes on of the people who lives in there. This is not just your average Joe six-pack. These are your heavy hitters. Give me an idea. LeBron makes upwards of $75 million a year in contracts and endorsement. Oh, once upon a time, O.J. Simpson used to live there. First of all, I'd like to know how the person got in there. It's a gated community. It's not a walk-up community. You nearly have to have a security check, background check to get in there. If you was a newspaper delivery boy, you wouldn't be able to just go in there and drop the newspaper off. But again, it's just an idea of how far we have to go as a society. And the funny thing about it is, I don't know nobody out there. It's funny. If you make some kind of remark towards a foreigner, maybe a Middle Eastern, is a terrorist threat. You say something against someone of the gay and lesbian community, it's a hate crime. But we as black people, no matter what level we're on, whether we're here or there, from jobs, status, income, we're still the N-word and nothing happens. Nothing happens. Maybe Colin Kaepernick was white, right? I don't know. I'm not a politician. I just had to speak on it. But yes, Golden State in 5. It's not going to be that hard. I think it's going to be easy. As I said, the X Factor is going to be Mike Brown. The MVP is going to be Steph Curry. And I'm going to roll it out for you. Golden State wins by 20 or more tonight. They come back 2 days later. They win by 8-10. They go to Cleveland, lose game 3. Win a squeaker in game 4. Come home and wrap it up. This one will be over in 5. I want to appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we'll chop it up soon. Peace and blessings. This is Ramel for Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Y'all be good.
Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chop.
You know what? Before we go, I don't do this too often, but I got a newcomer to the show. Y'all seen? He says KD didn't make them better. He took away from Clay. He said, I lost my mind, brother. And listen, I tell you what. One thing about the Golden State Warriors, one of their best attributes is that there's no I in team over there. They can spell the word me, but they choose not to. They are completely a team. They are all willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the team. Is Klay Thompson struggling over there? No. If you look at his numbers, he's averaging 18 points a game for the season, which is only about 2 points less than what he did the year before. So what happens is that, yes, Kevin Durant does make this squad better in so many ways because the guy that was going, Harrison Barnes, last year, is no longer leaving him to come help on a double team. Because KD is there. And guess what? If they do, KD is making them pay. Making them pay. Making them pay. Yes, Kevin Durant makes Golden State better. Did he take away from Klay? No. It's just that Klay brings to the table, and what he brings to the table is not only his game, but his willingness to sacrifice for the team. That's what makes this a team. How many other players, how many other teams have a star player that could be a number 1 option or a number 2 option on just about every team in the league is willing to take a back seat and become a number 3 option or just do less or take less shots for the betterment of the team? Or maybe say, you know what, you guys score, I'll just tighten up my defense. At the end of the day, since March, they're 27-1. Walk through the playoffs. Literally, walk through the playoffs. They're going in as 12-0. This is Ramel for Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Yeah, we go.